Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I have been really taking a step back and thinking, contemplating about lots of different stuff, but uh, I guess what I really need to say is that um, I've learned that the ego not only enjoys comfort, because it does, right? We don't want to, that's why we don't really like change all that much, and we don't really, it scares us. Obviously, I'm speaking generally here, but it's often scary to instigate change, even when we know it's probably for the good, or we're hoping it's for the good. It can still make us stay in old patterns of, old patterns of there we go, old patterns of behavior, and it's a trap, it's a limitation, right? Well, it clicked in my mind recently, just very recently, that we also become very used to and comfortable, for lack of a better word, with discomfort too, and being attached to those uncomfortable things. Hear me out. I've been talking with one of the editors of an anthology that I'm going to be published in. We don't have the actual date, but it's coming out in October. So not for a little while, but it will be out in October. And so she was in touch with me just yesterday asking for an updated bio, and because the publication process is a lengthy one, she's had my original piece and all of that since the summer, I think. It might have been even probably May or June, even close to a year now. It's a slow process. So she expected that a lot of the people included in this book have more publication credits and stuff. And so I just answered to say, no, you can use the same original bio that I sent. And it just fell out of my fingers. Obviously, I was typing this to her, but it's very interesting to have it because I couldn't help but say, no, you can use the same one because I don't have any new publication credits. I'm not a real writer. I said that to an editor who picked my piece to be in her collection. Right? Like, if somebody else was telling me this story, I would be inclined, probably as you are right now, to be like, what are you talking about? And like, are you saying that my judgment is incorrect? Because I picked your work out of lots of submissions, and it sounds like you don't like it or you don't want to be in the collection, right? Like, that's what I would probably be thinking. And all because I just sort of had this weird compulsion. It's almost like it reminds me of like when you're do you remember those old potato chip commercials for Lay's chips? I bet you can't eat just one. Was that Mark Messier or somebody like that? Some hockey player? Anyway, it's like that though. It's like you have a chip and you can't stop. And because I was feeling bad at the time when I read this message from her, I had to continue feeling bad. So I had to say this mean thing that I wouldn't say about someone else, and that is diminishing in a way to her and her associate editor as well, who had to go to all of the trouble of reading all their submissions that they would have gotten, which would have been quite a few, and going through the vetting process and eliminating things, and to come out on top of that, like, it sounds like I'm saying I'm not a real writer, don't include me, don't include me. I changed my mind. Like it's not helpful. But I say these things all the time because it's terrifying when the ego senses that something new is coming, something good, you know? It wants to push that out. I've heard another person on YouTube say that ego, ego, edges the goodness out. And it's kind of true for that, because I was deliberately like resisting and pushing back against something legitimately good, and I'm aware of the bizarre the bizarreness of that, and I can't help but think that's the reason, is because it's a way my little ego has of staying in control of me. And I'm just trying to put it out there that though we can be resistant of change that's for the better, like, you know, getting more fit, having a healthier diet, that sort of thing, that's already a challenge, right? For anybody who's tried to lose weight or diet or whatever, you know, it's tough to break your old habits and then build a new one, as we know. But it's also hard to break those old habits in favor of just treating yourself better, if that makes sense. I hope it does. It just feels like we're our own worst enemies, and we want to keep ourselves oppressed. And obviously there's lots of reasons why, but I don't know. I just thought I would say, I just observed that. Interesting. And as an interesting little ending to this is that I got a response very quickly from the editor saying, some people that we picked have written lots of books. Some people that we picked have written absolutely no books and have no publication credits at all. Some people have, you know, published journal entries and things like that. So it's a gamut of people, and you're just as legitimate as they are. You know, you are a real writer was one of the actual phrases in there. You are a real writer, you wrote it. And yet, it's so hard to accept that, even though she's not wrong. She's not wrong. It's just fascinating that these habits of mind are like this. It's so powerful. And so even when someone is trying to give you a gift, there's this tendency to want to push it away because of other maybe people in the past who made you feel like you didn't deserve that gift through something they said or did. And that sort of wound is there kind of beneath the surface. People don't see it, but you feel it, and it's like, it kind of, when I feel it, it's often either in my chest or kind of in my, sort of the middle of my abdomen. I'll feel this like really tight feeling because I know that they're trying to give me a gift. I know they're trying to be good, and they are being good. But I feel like I shouldn't accept it, and I can't trust it. And I know that that's just this saying, you can't trust people, they're all wrong and bad, you know, that, and it's a lie, because, right, like, not everybody's a bad person. That's ridiculous, come on, to think. But your ego will tell you any number of lies to keep itself happy, and the ego is happy when it is correct by its own estimation of being correct. Oftentimes, egos will say that an opinion is fact in order to be correct and to make someone else incorrect, just because that makes it feel safe. And unfortunately, logic just cannot penetrate sometimes when we're fully, living that way. And I'm just letting you know this because, I'm a person too, and I make a lot of human error, and that's one of them. I thanked this lady for getting in touch with me to be like, no, it's fine. We'll use your original bio, and it doesn't matter that you don't have new publication credits coming down the pipe yet. That's fine. It's not a contest for that. Relax. So, if there's something you're endeavoring to try, but you're scared to call yourself a painter, a musician, a dancer, whatever you're trying to do, just know that that's past stuff and stuff that we are told about ourselves in our formative years, and we form a lot of beliefs around, and we form a lot of identity around, and that's the human condition. It's okay. But as they say in Narcotics or Alcoholics Anonymous, you have to first be able to admit you have a problem, and that is the first step. So there we are. I'll let you go. I hope you're doing well. Here's my subscription button up here, as it is engagement time, and there is a video down there you can go ahead and watch, and I hope you will. And I will see you next time.